Good morning, my dear students. Today we are learning about a response to abiotic factor. In your previous period, under this lesson organism and population, you have been studied the abiotic factor. And the next part of that abiotic factor is how these organisms are going to be responding to this abiotic factor. As you have been studied that the temperature, light, water, soil are the four important abiotic factors. And to these four abiotic factors, how the different organisms like plants and animals are going to be response is the matter here. And as you know very well that all organisms cannot tolerate the same temperature. Some of the organisms need less temperature, some of the organisms need very high temperature. Like a desert plants, you know very well, cactus, it is going to be surviving above 60 degrees Celsius. Like the same, kangaroo rat is surviving above 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, but even it is a mammal. So question arises that how? Even the mammal, say bird is there, like a penguin, it is a bird which is available in the Arctic region. Even the bird is going to be, cannot change its body temperature, still it is going to be surviving. What make it? So that is why we consider it as response of an organism towards this abiotic factor. So here to understand this, first of all you must know, as you know very well that if we consider India, in India two places, if we will go for taking two states like one Jammu and Kashmir and another Rajasthan. In Rajasthan very high temperature and in Jammu and Kashmir very low temperature. But even the human beings as well as the animals and plants are surviving. What makes it? Right? Whereas in Karnataka, it is in the Karnataka itself is, you know very well, South Karnataka and the North Karnataka. North Karnataka people is going to be containing a high temperature, and whereas in the South Karnataka people low temperature. Low means the maximum their temperature is 39 degrees Celsius. Whereas in the North Karnataka, maximum temperature up to 45 degrees Celsius during the summer season. What makes it to survive? So to understand, two important human things must be needed. One, body temperature, and the second one is that the things which are present inside the body. Whatever the things present inside the body, we consider it as the blood itself, and that blood is going to be made up of mainly with the salt, mineral, nutrients along with the water, whatever that organism may be. If it is in a plant, the water fluid material will be there which consists of a mineral and the salt itself. If it is an animal, it consists of a blood along with the water and the mineral salt. So that is going to be maintaining. We call that as a osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is nothing but maintenance of internal salt and water. This point to be clear first. Maintenance of water and salt balance. Salt means it may be sodium, chloride, magnesium, whatever that may be. So that consider. So maintenance of water and salt balance is called as osmoregulation. And this osmoregulation keep the temperature. How it keeps the temperature? Let us we will go for that. During summer season, yes, you were sitting under the fan and the blow will be there and you are feeling comfortable during the month of May. If power goes off, you start sweat. Why sweats come? Because the body temperature wants to maintain constant temperature by release of a sweat. When sweat comes, our body can become cool. Again, you are going to be drinking water or a juice or you will eat fruits to bring up the water and the nutrients inside the body to come at a constant. What is happening? Loss is taking place, replacement is there. So that is said to be as a maintenance of water balance, so called as an osmoregulation, which is going to be maintaining a body temperature. Say for example, human being will have 37 degrees Celsius is the normal body temperature. 37 degrees Celsius. Isn't it? If it goes, the temperature has come. Means jara bandava anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Yes, that is during the summer. During the winter season, in the month of November and December, if you will go for taking a cold water bath, how you feel? You start shivering and you want to stand in the sunlight, fine, the heat, because your body is in need of heat. So you are going to be eating the oily stuffs like ghee, cheese, paneer, mutton, like such we want we go for preferring, because which we are going to be produce more heat in the body. So this is fine. Maintenance of water and the salt balance along with the temperature, that condition is called as homeostasis. So homeostasis, most important question for 1 mark, what is homeostasis? So homeostasis is nothing but maintenance of internal medium kept constant, or we can say that the internal environment of the body remains constant is called as a homeostasis. What is that internal environment? The internal environment consists of a temperature and osmoregulation. So what is osmoregulation? You know. What is temperature? You know. So that on the basis of a homeostasis, the organisms are going to be response to the abiotic factor like light, temperature, water and salt. And on the basis of that, the organisms are classified into different types because their behavior is different. So that is going to be showing through the help of this schematic representation graph. So here external level will be there, as I said, that external level. Outside the body, that's the temperature. Here if you will go to the Rajasthan, the temperature is more. If you will go to the Shimla or Kashmir, the temperature is less. But still human being can survive. What makes it? Homeostasis. How it is, that comes over here. So external level versus internal level. External level versus internal level. When you will start feeling cold, you will start taking the hot foods, or you want to protect it by wearing the blanket or a jerkin or a sweater, what you can say, the hat like such. Yes? When is it? So on the basis of the internal level as well as an external level, the organisms are classified into different. Right? The organisms who is going to be maintaining constant internal environment. Organisms who maintain constant internal environment, those organisms are called as regulators. So we call them as regulate. We call those organisms as regulate. Who are the regulate? Mammals and birds are regulate. We will go for learn here clearly. So that is regulate. Then what about those organisms which cannot maintain their constant internal environment? Some of the organisms were there, they cannot maintain the constant internal environment, and those organisms are called as conformers. We call them as conformers, or we call conforms. Means the organisms which cannot maintain the internal environment. The fluctuation will be there according to the external environment. Right? Whereas partial regulators, sometimes they regulate partially, they will not regulate. So those organisms are said as a partial regulator. So these three organisms, and basically conformers and regulators. 99% of plant and 99% of plant and animals are conformers. They could not maintain. 99% of animals are conforms. Only 1% are regulators who maintain constant body temperature. Because the animal kingdom, as we were going to be considering from phylum Protozoa to Echinodermata, and from a class Chondrichthyes to class mammals. So here only birds and mammals belongs under this. Then reptiles, amphibians, fishes, they all conformers. Then invertebrates, they all conformers. Means 99% of animals belongs under the conformers. hardly 1% of organisms are regulated. So as you are going to regulate. So what do you mean by the regulate? Organism which maintain internal environment kept constant. That is called as a regulator. What is that internal environment? The temperature as well as osmoregulation. Temperature should be 37 degrees Celsius. Osmoregulation, you know very well that water and balance. If you drink more water, you will pass the urine. If the sunlight is more and if you sweat and your urine will not be passed because the sweat has come, but still you feel thirsty, so you will start drinking water. Maintaining the water balance in this way, supplying. Right? So those are considered as the regulates. Whereas second is said to be as conform. So conformers or conform is nothing but the organism which do not maintain constant body temperature according to the external. Those organisms are called as conforms. Example, shrews and hummingbirds are there which cannot maintain. Say for example, conforms. Shrews and hummingbirds are the birds, but still they are going to be surviving in the colder regions, like Antarctic regions. Their body size is very less, very small size. So here one mark question is going to be asking that smaller animals are not found in colder region or polar region. Why? So let us tell you that. So pygmy shrews is there. Pygmy shrews size is this much only. Compared to the volume of the body, the surface area of the body is large. When surface area of the body is large, outer temperature is less, body temperature is more. The movement of temperature from higher temperature to lower temperature, obvious, loss of a temperature. It loses its temperature, but how it go for gaining the temperature? Continuously it eats. It should eat. It is not possible